Hey, welcome to Cheap Seats. I'm Jason, this is Randy, and today we're going to be watching the 1978 World's Strongest Man competition. Now, if you've never seen a World's Strongest Man competition, then you've probably never watched ESPN2 because they show that stuff like 10 times a day. Oh, and by the way, this is 1978, only the second year this event was held. PMVM, as we like to call it. Pre-Magnus for Magnuson. Now, here's what you're going to want to look for in this competition.
Here's what to look for. Here's what to look for.
The top contenders for the title are Bruce Wilhelm and Don Reinhardt, and you will soon see that this is an epic struggle between good and evil. Yeah, Don's the kind of guy you want your daughter to marry, and Bruce is the kind of guy you want your son to back over with his SUV. But hey, we'll let you decide for yourself. Oh, one more thing. This competition took place over 10 weeks. We've only got an hour to show it to you, so we had to cut some whole events. Here's what got cut. The barrel lift, the car lift, the tire throw, the redwood chew, jazzercise, and the balancing of the budget. Okay, let's get started. Working for a better tomorrow today, Phillips 66 presents Energy in You. We don't make the tires you toss, we make the tires you toss more tossable.
8 of the most powerful men in the world.
Men? Shouldn't it be man? Is this a competition or a calendar?
This man. Now, let's meet the competitors.
Boris Gerasi, AAU hammer throw champion.
And part-time Lamaze coach.
Swedish national powerlift champion.
And Fat Elvis impersonator.
Guard, Pittsburgh
As Captain Hernia.
John Matusak.
As Mr. Wiggles.
Oakland Raiders.
All right, man, I got the keg. You sure your parents are out of town?
Ivan Putski, professional.
The Polish Hammer.
Don Reinhardt, the world record holder in the powerlift.
And Mr. Jenny Craig.
Gus Rethwish.
And the first man to bear a child.
Collegiate powerlift champ. Jack Wright, former arm wrestler.
Ah, there's another U-lock for you.
And our defending titleist, Bruce Wilhelm. Welcome to the Universal Tour Center and the return of our World's Strongest Men competition. We pick up our competition with those bars at 1/2 inch thickness. 2 5-man heats. John Matusak and John Kolb, our football players, are side by side. Jack Wright, the arm wrestling champion. Ivan Putski.
Yep, you got a gas
A
leak.
little bit there, Ivan. And Brian Oldfield, who was 6th at the shot put at the Munich Olympics in '72. Now, they must get the ends of that bar to within at least 8 inches of each other.
Once they're bent, these pipes are used for croquet wickets at a local senior citizens home.
Wright's got to go back and try a little more. John Kolb, he's within 8 inches. So is John Matusak.
Hey, it's Evan Thomas, professional clapper. All right, let's jump ahead to a later round when only Wilhelm, Hedlund, and Reinhardt are still in it.
A 60-second time limit. Reinhardt, oh, he took his hands off the ends of the bar. He's been disqualified. He is
How is
out.
Reinhardt disqualified? You can't cheat at bending metal. Yep, I think I'm done bending.
The bar is winning
Nope,
right now.
still got a ways to go.
Boy, that disqualification is going to hurt Reinhardt because he could have taken a 2-week lead.
Ah, Fat Andy Kaufman, you're hilarious.
Down toward the final 10 seconds. Al Conley and the judges are going to have to measure to determine a winner here unless Hedlund can get a bit further because it is close. There it is. Time's
The
up.
exciting conclusion.
I can't believe that bar didn't give any more than that. Reinhardt disqualified when he went to the forearms on the end of the steel bar. Hal Conley now has talked to the judges, and he's got the winner for us.
The official.
Hey, it's exercising Woody Allen. My brother could bend a bar like that just by complaining at it.
That it is a tie.
All right, I'll share it with him.
And what the two share are 17 points, splitting first.
All right, we got to go back and take a look at that World's Strongest Man sign again. Okay, we're not saying that it's a cross or anything.
But it is.
I guess there's no separation between church and strongman.
Yeah, what's up with that? It's not the 700 Club.
ridiculous.
It's like,
Guys, I've got the mock-up for the new Cheap Seats logo you were looking for.
All right, let's see it, man. Yeah. I would just say maybe bigger letters and red background, but I'd sign off on it totally.
Should I email this to the guys upstairs, or?
Can you fax it, maybe?
Yeah, it's gonna look a little grainy, but yeah.
Hey, welcome back to Cheap Seats. Today we're watching the 1978 World's Strongest Man competition. Now, the effects of this competition have reached far beyond the world of sports. That's right, Rand. In the early 80s, the fashion industry tried to cash in on the sport's popularity. Specialty singlet stores began popping up in every city and every town across this nation. Singlets and things? Just singlets? And the ever-popular I Can't Believe It's Not a Two-Piece stores became strip mall staples overnight. But sadly, the singlet fad was short-lived, and it soon gave way to an even more absurd fad, parachute pants. And the rest is history. Now back to the action.
Heat number one, Jack Wright against John Matusak of the Oakland
Meanwhile,
Raiders.
John Matusak was a lineman back in the 70s. With that size, he could maybe be a free safety today, or a punter.
Slips at the start. Now he's coming back with a wheelbarrow, but Matusak is off to a good start. If he can keep it straight, he's going to win this heat easily.
Blinding speed.
At the bottom of your screen. That's a good winning time by John Matusak as Jack Wright also finishes up. The football background did it, right?
Brent, it helps a little bit that
I'm not paying attention to a damn thing you're saying.
hard on the sled, but we'll see how the time turns out.
Now, you are the first one to come up the hill. What's it going to be like for the rest of the competitors?
Well, it's going to get a little warmer as it goes on. So.
And John Matusak with the weather. There's going to be a high-pressure system rolling in, which will bring in low clouds and moderate humidity. Let's take a look at the 5-day.
Hard to control. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Brent.
All right, Wright turned in at
Is this taking place on a highway off-ramp?
second heat. Brian Oldfield against Boris Gerassi.
You know, there's a dead body in there.
Shot put record.
What?
Gerasi's
Where?
hammer throw champion.
In that wheelbarrow right there.
16-10. Off to an even
No, there isn't.
Now it's
They say it's the body of Old Man Potato Sack. No way. Sure, legend has it Old Man Potato Sack didn't take too kindly to all these so-called strong men coming up his hill and rolled in their big wheelbarrows. So one day he took out his rifle and he killed himself right inside a potato sack. Not unlike the potato sacks you're seeing on your screen right there. So then his ghost comes back and like haunts Universal Studios? No. No, he's dead. He killed himself. How's he going to come back and kill people if he's dead? He's in the ground. He's dead. It's not a scary story at all, though. It's not supposed to be scary. It's just a sad story about a guy who committed suicide. I don't know why it has to be scary. So then why did you, like, put the lights down and do the flashlight on your face? I wanted to highlight my expressions.
100 feet from start to finish. He's got a shot at Matusak, 16-10. Boris is our new leader. 15.84. And a mighty for Gerassi. Good run out there. Yelling encouragement to yourself, no.
Oh, you just gotta yell, man.
And that was so close, about halfway up. Could you see him out of the corner of your eye?
Yeah, I was looking at him, but I was starting to veer. And I didn't like that, but I just kept yelling and pushing like...
Okay, what did Jurassic say that needed to get slide whistled out? Did he just say burger? No, I think he said... No, I think he said cheese. No, I think he said grouter. No, I feel like he said... No, I think he said, you're... Dude, that's disgusting. Slide whistle it out.
The time to beat, that amazing 13.67 turned in by Gus Rethwish. Hedlund with a lead. Putski now.
Goes Putski. Down goes Putski.
Hedlund is coming on up.
He kind of looks like a peacock that has to go to the bathroom.
Hits the finish line in 15.58. Meanwhile, there's Dr. Leroy Perry looking at Putski's leg.
With a name like Putski, it's really a surprise that he worked out as much as he did.
For the first time you've ever pushed a 750-pound wheelbarrow 100 feet uphill. You know, I had a chance to talk to Dr. Leroy Perry, and I think you will enjoy the conversation. Anytime you get a group of world-class athletes together, you got to have somebody to keep them going. And Dr. Perry, you've been working overtime with some of them.
These men are real gentlemen.
Kind of looks
and
like
real
someone,
competitors, and I think people
but
out
I
there
don't
should
know
understand
who.
that this is true.
Who does he look like? I can't figure it out. I don't know. Who?
The two big guys who are running 1-2 in the
All right.
competition right now.
Now it's time for Reinhardt versus Wilhelm.
15.67. What a match this figures to be. Over there on the left, Don Reinhardt leading our defending champion, Bruce Wilhelm.
Dude, get a hat that fits, or at least a logo that fits your hat.
Won this event a year ago. Here they come. Reinhardt is away well. If he can keep it straight and keep on coming, he's having trouble.
Down goes Reinhardt. Down goes Reinhardt.
Will win this heat easily, but what kind of a time will he turn in?
2, 3,
Reinhardt
kick.
coming back unofficially. Wilhelm's got an amazing time there. 13.41. Fantastic. Already, Gus Rethwish is in officially at 13.6.
Let's get a shot from our glaucoma cam. Yeah, the spot shadow's supposed to make it bigger, but it kind of failed. Just like Reinhardt.
Wilhelm to continue right up the hill, and even though he wasn't forced, he turned in a great time. This, you said this was harder than last year?
Yeah, I think we've been sandbagged on this.
Ah, Fat Andy Kaufman, hilarious!
Last year, I'm in better shape. It was more
What
difficult.
kind of shape were you in last year? A trapezoid?
You were in trouble, and Don, what happened? Just lose
I
control?
guess I was going too fast and lost control, that's all.
Because you were watching carefully when they were coming up that hill, because you had by far the best time.
Thank you. I think the only way to do it is for Bruce and I to have a runoff, so maybe we can keep him quiet for a while.
This
There's
man
a
isn't even
challenge.
able to keep
He
up
ha-
with me. He
he
looks
has-
like a whale himself.
He has challenged
Did
you
he
to
just
that.
call Gus Rethwish a whale? Because number one, Gus has all kinds of body issues, so that is not cool. And number two, he's thinner than you, so shut up, Wilhelm.
No, that's not how the rules state. Would you accept that challenge?
I would accept the challenge with knives, chains, darts, you name it.
Okay, nobody said anything about knives, chains, or darts. He's just asking for a rematch.
13.41 is officially the first place time, and 13.67 Gus's time is second, but he wants to go back down and do it again.
I win. I'm the champion. I don't have to play with these hot dogs.
Oh, so he will accept any challenge. Good, good to know.
Competition, and our defending champion Bruce Wilhelm leads Don
Ugh,
Reinhardt.
I hate this guy. He gives fat, cocky, annoying guys everywhere a bad name. Well, cut him some slack, Ran. He thinks he's auditioning for my big, fat, obnoxious, fat fiancé. All right, let's watch him meet the in-laws right after this. He is pretty fat, isn't he?
And obnoxious.
Welcome back to Cheap Seats, and to get a little background on the World's Strongest Man competition, let's go to our old friend the Answer Dog, a pork byproduct with a freakish knowledge of sports trivia.
Game 7 of 82 when the Cardinals played the Brewers. Randy bought a special Frank just as Milwaukee sang. So they took the winner home and raised him as their very own. It's not Whitey Hoover's dog, it's the Answer Dog.
Shut up!
Dog.
Hang on a second, we're just going to get you mic'd up.
You couldn't have done this earlier. Hey, watch the bun.
Sorry about that. Answer Dog, you look great. Now, have you lost weight?
Yeah, I'm 40% tofu. What do you want?
Well, we asked you here because we don't know who created the World's Strongest Man competition.
You really don't know.
No.
Good. You really deserve your own sports show. That's great. World's Strongest Man is the brainchild of Barry Frank, who also created Superstars, Battle of the Network Stars, and American Gladiators.
I knew it.
No, you didn't.
All right, you're right, I didn't.
Can I go now?
No, wait. One more question. What do you think of Bruce Wilhelm? How much do you hate him?
Wilhelm? I mean, sure, the guy's a putz, but I think he's actually good for the sport. Now, Dr. Leroy Perry, I want to take that guy and smash his face in my bun till he's dead from that. I hate that guy.
Wait, Leroy Perry's such a nice guy. You want to kick his...
He's a fancy-pants Hollywood chiropractor. Shirley MacLaine dedicated a book to him. Madonna took him on her tour of Japan. And he even had a small part in Melanie Griffith's movie Born yesterday. I think that guy is a commie. He got to carry the Soviet flag at the 1991 track and field championships. Oh, God! He's a damn traitor! We should bomb him!
Is all that true?
Is that even a question?
No. Thanks, AD. Thanks for stopping by.
Word.
And word to your moms as well. All right, well, thank you, Answer Dog, and let's pick it up back with one of my favorite strongman competitions, the girl lift.
Our next event for the World's Strongest Men competition, Commissioner of Power Terry Todd is the
Commissioner of
traditional
Power?
girl lift. We've got some lovely members.
I had no idea such a position existed.
And such an interesting apparatus here. Why don't you go demonstrate it for me?
Well, Brent, it's a hot afternoon, and my family, my wife handles the heavy work.
Your wife handles the heavy work?
Yes, maybe Jan could show us how it's done.
All right, here is Jan Todd, actually a world-renowned weightlifter and perhaps the strongest woman in the world.
Yes, Jan holds most of the weightlifting records for women.
Wait, is that his wife on the right?
100 pounds is the next heaviest. This is
No, in the middle.
15
Oh.
pounds here.
Oh, Jan, come on over here.
Marcia.
Terry really does make you move the refrigerators and everything, right?
Listen, we moved recently, and he had a sore back the whole time.
Yeah, right. Sore back.
Men made it at 445.
Why are they covering up the girls with a black bar? Are they going wild?
Total weighs 570 pounds. Now, girls don't weigh that much. Each of them weighs 125 pounds, and the rest of the weight's dead weight. And here's Ivan Putski.
Speaking of dead weight,
And he pushes it right back up to the top. The rules are quite simple.
I can't believe I quit rabbinical school for
To a
this.
certain level, depending upon their height, and then they
That's
must
such a
push it
shame.
back up to the top.
Some girl's going to be known as the one who broke down Reinhardt's back. This event is an eating disorder waiting to happen.
Handle this easily, and he does. And here's our European competitor, Lars Hedlund, lieutenant in the Swedish Army.
Wait a minute. If Lars is here, who's protecting Sweden?
Good job, too, I might
Being a lieutenant in the Swedish Army is kind of like being captain of Chad's Olympic hockey team. Who's Chad? The country, you idiot.
Quiet man is due up from Hawaii. Gus Rethwish. powerlift champion. He has a degree in political science from the University of Hawaii.
Glad to see he's putting it to good use.
And he also hoists 570 pounds. John Turpak and also Tommy Kono standing close by to help the athletes. There's Bob Zuver also on the right-hand side. He's the chairman of the apparatus. The key here.
How do you become the chairman of the apparatus? Well, it's simple, Rand. First, Zuver started out in the mailroom, and then he moved up to be the assistant to the regional coordinator of stuff. And then he became the VP of things, and then he took a year off for paternity leave. Then he came back and was offered his current position of chairman of the apparatus. So, what's next for this guy? Well, he could either be ambassador of junk or chief accountant at Arthur Anderson. Oh, it's good that he's got options.
Out here in Southern California this afternoon. And Bruce is telling the cheerleaders, jump up just a little bit, girls, and help me out.
Because he's a fat cheater.
Look awfully easy. I'd have to like his chances right here. Takes a wide stance. Here it comes. In trouble. The weight is now a dead one.
And yet Wilhelm's arrogance lives on.
One more effort for Wilhelm. But that's it. Bruce Wilhelm is conceding.
And conceded.
Girl lift at an amazing 790 pounds is...
All right, Great Peeps in first place.
Wilhelm has to settle for a tie with Breathwish and Jurassic. And as a result of picking up those 10 points right now, well, Don Reinhardt has jumped back into the overall lead.
Okay, whoever made that trophy gets, at best, a C in shop class. The World's Strongest Man competition is great if you're really strong, but there are tons of people out there who don't have the to pull a tram with their but who still want to compete. And they don't have the same venues as the strong man, and we think that's strengthest. Yes, we do. So today, we're going to give the weak man his due.
World's strongest weak man.
Now, we canvassed this country in search of weak men. We hit comic book stores, Weezer concerts, the band Weezer itself, and of course, overnight summer camps. And we have found what we believe to be are the weakest men in America. But the question still remains, who is the strongest of these weak men? For the past 2 weeks, our weaklings have competed in a number of grueling events. Let's recap the action. Our first event was a true test of weak man's strength, the licorice bend. Our competitors needed to bend the ends of their respective licorice within 2 inches of each other. Max von Shrimp jumped out to an early lead, but was then disqualified for making illegal licorice contact with his forearms. Lars Sveltland shocked everyone when he ate his licorice mid-bend. And a triumphant Bobby Risdale was the only competitor who completed this monstrous task successfully, thereby collecting all 10 points. The second event was the pillow toss. The leader, Bobby Risdale, tossed his pillow a record 11 feet, barely beating out Von Shrimp, whose unorthodox one-arm throwing style garnered him a 10 feet 11-inch toss, a personal best for him. And Lars Sveltland again was disqualified for eating his pillow. With only one event remaining, our leader is Bobby Risdale, a man who is no stranger to controversy. I caught up with him, which, by the way, wasn't that hard, and asked him about his near disqualification months before our competition. Bobby, talk about what happened 6 months ago.
Well, I was at qualifiers, and they told me I was actually too strong for the competition, and ended up hiring a weakness coach, and we had a lot of work to do.
Well, what sort of things did you guys actually work on?
Well, he put me on a non-intensive program of a lot of bed and couch laying. We did non-heavy lifting, some self-induced vomiting.
Bobby Risdale. Nice reporting, Jay. When we come back, the exciting conclusion to the first ever World's Strongest Weak Man competition with our final event, the thumb wrestle.
World's Strongest Weak Man.
Welcome back to Cheap Seats. Okay, we started with 240 weak men from 250 countries who have all come to participate in this dramatic event. And now we're down to two. Bobby Risdale and Max von Shrimp are about to determine once and for all who is the world's strongest weak man. You guys ready? Yes. You guys set? Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare the war!
It's not that heavy. Jesus, this is Bobby. Bobby, how do you feel?
I feel very weak right now.
All right. Are you going to be back next year?
We'll take it day by day, but if I'm weak enough, I'll be there.
Okay, you heard it right here. Bobby Risdale, champion of the World's Strongest Weak Man competition. Let's head back to 1978 and the World's Strongest Man competition.
Our strawmen, the tram pull. Boris Gerasi here is being strapped in by Hal Conley, and the tram
Something knock on our door.
strawmen will be pulling weighs a total of 7,800 pounds. We'll run this off in heats. Boris, for example, will be matched against John Matusak. Fastest time wins.
Someone call my name?
At the end of the course, the finish line is 100 feet away. That's 30 feet longer than it was a year ago when Bruce Wilhelm covered it in 14 seconds. Of course, how's that harness feel? Feels great. Yes, sir.
What could possibly make him say that the harness feels great? Maybe he's married to a dumb. Well, either way, I say Gerasi's got this one in the bag.
John Matusak has got his tram moving. Remember, that's 7,800 pounds he's underway with. Gerasi can't even get started over there on the right. He's having a terrible time. Matusak staying low, driving through.
And if you look to your left, you'll see the set of our newest reality TV show, When Fat Guys Pull Trams.
Judges are over there conferring on the side. Hal Conley and Terry Todd are bringing them together. Matusak will win this heat.
All right, who left the parking brake on? Ashton Kutcher, I'll get you!
Agonizer, wasn't it?
Absolutely, Brent. And what a time for an interview right now. It's, I'll tell you, it was like trying to break up a double team.
With an 8,000-pound tram on your back.
Dave Casper and John Bella are two of the best.
But you got it broken up, Big John. Nice
I did,
going.
Brent. Thanks a lot.
Now, here's the ruling on Gerasi.
That he's a weakling.
He is going to be given a second run. Don Reinhardt is ready now. Remember, he's running against the clock.
Or crawling against it.
Matusak's 31.17.
I know my contact is around here somewhere. Yeah, I think it's down there with your dignity.
Good start by Reinhardt.
You know what, Rand? I am really impressed with the safety in this competition. I know, because there's some potentially dangerous events here. I feel like the competitors are never at risk. I know.
Look at the big guy. Oh, Reinhardt's down. Get in there.
Oh, God, my God, it's going to crush him. Oh, my God. He's going to die. Oh, spotters. I love that it's like a 7,000-pound tram, and 3 guys skinnier than us are trying to stop it from rolling over this guy. Because you know there's like some big spotter guy sitting on a tire somewhere smoking a cigarette.
Just tired.
Even after being run over, he's still the nicest guy ever.
Tired. That's awful hard.
And you stood up.
When the roller coaster stops, wait till the safety bar lifts before getting off.
I'll try it anyway, I'll tell you.
Well, I'll tell you what, thank goodness these guys were able to jump out there and stop that coming at you, because you were helpless down there on the asphalt. Get yourself dusted off and get a rest.
Okay, Brett, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brent. It was a privilege to almost be killed.
7,800 pounds for the defending champion Bruce Wilhelm, and he is starting to take it seriously. He is under pressure this year from Big Don Reinhardt, who already has turned in that time 25.75. Wilhelm underway.
That's it. Come to Daddy. Come on. You can do it. Yes, you can. Honey, get the camcorder. He's doing it. You're doing it. He's doing it. He's doing it. He's walking.
Shot at it, but he'll have to hurry. Reinhardt's lead holds up. So Wilhelm will not win it this year.
Whoa, Brent, flying in there. You can relax. Bruce isn't going anywhere. He's harnessed to a 7,000-pound tram.
What advice would you give the rest of the guys coming after you now?
Never take off your
As hard
sunglasses.
as they can and keep low.
Now you got 2 more events after. Catch Reinhardt.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
Okay. Look who I found backstage checking out some of the equipment.
Where'd he get that shirt, Chess King?
David Johns, who was in training for the Mr. Universe contest. And David, looks though you'd like to come into this World's Strongest Men competition.
Yeah, it looks very good. I was out checking the equipment out, but I would have liked to have been in it this year, but I wouldn't want to break my training for the Mr. Universe. That's what I'm getting ready for now, Mr. Universe contest. Maybe next year. It looks very good.
David,
Rook
training
to ab 3.
bodybuilding competition.
Queen to nipple 2.
What do you go through?
Peckmate.
How rigorous is it?
You go through a lot of heavy training, a lot of stress, in the mind.
Wow, what are the odds that there's heavy training involved in the Mr. Olympia competition? That is weird. Good reporting.
Bodybuilders do have a lot of strength to compete, and I would very much like to get in to test my strength on it. I'll be glad to be here.
Thanks, David.
All right, thank you.
And Boris Gerasi finished out of the money at 50.54. It's Reinhardt alone at the top over the defending champion. Hedlund is third and Kolb is fourth. And you can see the rest of our field.
Okay, easily my most favorite guy in that last segment was a spotter who comes in at the end of Reinhardt's pull. Me too. Look at how late he gets there. He's like that friend that helps you move a couch with one other person but just ends up taking the middle while you and your buddy have to do all the work. Are you that friend, Jay? No. All right, we'll be back with more Strongman 78 on Cheap Seats right after this. And mine. We're back with a little Hollywood edition of Do You Care? A little Tinseltown DYC.
Just the facts. Do you care?
Do you care that John Matusak played Sloth in The Goonies? Do you care that Gus Rethwich played Buzzsaw in The Running Man? Do you care that the Swedish army has not fought in a war since 1814? No, but I do care that the Swedish bikini team helped liberate Rwanda.
Fascinating event of our World's Strongest Men competition is the refrigerator race. Jack Wright is being strapped into this refrigerator right now, which weighs a total...
Stop leaning on it, Brent. It's heavy enough.
From start to finish, it's 100 feet away.
Heat 1. Jack Wright is over there on the left. And on the right, the man who I feel, pound for pound, is the strongest man in this competition.
What's up with Musburger loving Jurassic so much? It's weird. Brent, get...
Here is to get moving with those short steps maintain balance, and pick up speed in the last 50 feet. Bruce Wilhelm blew out the field.
Wait, is that a refrigerator or a Galaga machine?
Coming down. He's going to win our first heat.
Happy Brent, your boy won.
Forrest Jurassic, 16.48. He's delighted by the effort as he wins the heat. The crowd here loves him.
But not as much as a certain announcer that rhymes with...
Look at Boris. Now it's time for the showdown heat in the refrigerator race. Don Reinhardt matched against Bruce Wilhelm. There's Don of Fredonia, New York. These two have been running 1-2 all along. If Wilhelm is to come back, he must do it here. I had a chance to talk to Bruce about coaching techniques.
I noticed when I started paying my own bills.
Shortly after I began dressing myself.
Unless I feel they help me. People are always free with advice, truthfully. And I remember when I was wrestling in Oklahoma State, I got into some static on this. And I tell you, a coach is a wonderful person, a person that's needed, but he's not the one that's out there doing a particular event. And it's you and yourself when you're doing it. And so I try to think for myself.
You think of yourself? Really? That's a shocker.
And we got the tug of war coming up. You're trailing Don. It is close. How are your chances? Which is the most important?
Well, as I see it, all three, the double elimination tug of war and the refrigerator race, are very important. We never know what happens in a competition like that, and that's what's so great about competition, because we can actually see people fold up like accordions. Some people
And they called him Captain Hubris.
aren't expected. Myself, I personally expect to pick it off. However, I don't know. We've got some fabulous athletes, but I still think I'm better than all of them.
Yes, Wilhelm is outspoken, much like Muhammad Ali, but he can
Okay. Wait a minute. Let's see how much he really is like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, self-proclaimed as the greatest of all time. Bruce Wilhelm, self-proclaimed as the greatest of all time. Muhammad Ali, the most graceful boxer of all time. Bruce Wilhelm, a fat guy with a big mouth. Muhammad Ali, a poet and a man with a tremendous sense of humor. Bruce Wilhelm, a fat guy. Muhammad Ali, a political activist who became a symbol of the civil rights movement here in America and all over the world in the 60s and 70s. Bruce Wilhelm, fat. So they're pretty close.
He's on the right now in this showdown heat. There's Don on the left, and Wilhelm is off to a strong start. Won this event a year ago. He's going to capture the heat. Going for the good time now. Bruce Wilhelm out on top. Splendid effort by the defender.
Easy with that, Wilhelm. That's our only Zaxxon machine.
Come along as quickly as he can. This is not a good run. This is going to hurt Reinhardt in the overall competition. Wilhelm now has turned this around completely in his favor.
Don't clap. You'll only encourage him.
They're going to be among our four leaders, but here's the finish. And right here is where an athlete like Wilhelm backs up that braggadocio with a
Braggadocio, wasn't he in Lord of the Rings? Mm-hmm.
time, 19.8. He won't get a single point in this race.
9, second place, big guy, and you handled your main...
I can't focus on the interview. All I can think about is his right sticking out of his leotard.
But I just am amazed all these fabulous athletes we have here this year. It really, it's discouraging.
Well, they were coming down that course. That Lars Hedlund can really put it on, can he?
Yeah, the big Swede is tough, no doubt about it.
Hilarious.
All right, well, the tug of war is next for you.
Well, I'll say a prayer for him.
Bruce Wilhelm, professional.
And it is an extremely confident Bruce Wilhelm who has jumped back in.
Hey, look. They spelled refrigerator wrong.
Won the refrigerator race. Bruce
Who's spell checking this thing? Dan Quayle? Who's updating your references? Red Skelton?
will go into the tug of war
Touche.
with the points for that competition double.
All right, stay with us as our four finalists duke it out in the tug of war, an event as old as Jack McKeon himself. Interesting. Bust on Jack McKeon.
Young classic.
Welcome back to Cheap Seats. Now, The World's Strongest Man has consistently been one of the most popular shows on TV in England. In 2000, it was seen by over 40 million people. Of course, those are the same 40 million people that made Benny Hill a national treasure. We're about to start the final event in our World's Strongest Man competition, the Tug of War. Could you please stop clapping? I'm trying to. Could you please stop? I'm trying to introduce. I can't get control of these wild, crazy, clapping audience people.
To determine the champion, we have the simplest of all battlegrounds.
This beach volleyball court.
There are 4 finalists, and to win it, they're going to have to come back and win 2 events. And John Kolb is now ready for a tug of war against Big Don Reinhardt. Reinhardt weighing in at 340.
Kolb should put up a good fight. Yeah.
At 267. A 60-second time limit. Reinhardt has got Kolb in trouble early.
Whoa, come to Papa. Hello.
10 seconds. So Big Don Reinhardt advances quickly to the championship round. I think you had a little bit of a weight advantage, man.
Let me tell you one thing. I respect this man a heck of a lot. He's a heck of a man.
How can Reinhardt be so nice? Does he think you can get elected World's Strongest Man?
I hate to make bad faces at you, John.
Did he yank a little bit harder than some of your cows, Big John?
You know what? In the previous 9 events, I've noticed his wife over there, and she's patient and she's worried.
Hey, what's that thing right there?
Big smile on her mouth.
I think it's a back. It's a bipple.
And here is why Cynthia was smiling. John Kolb didn't have a chance giving away that.
Come here, you big leg, yeah.
Big Donnie just yanking him across that dividing line. All right, second heat. Big Bruce Wilhelm now is matched against still another 300-pounder, Larland of Sweden, the lieutenant in the Swedish Army. He's been the surprise of the entire competition. Now, note that piece of white tape there in the middle.
Wilhelm even pulls like a jerk. Hey, check out the red jumpsuits. How'd they get Public Enemy to judge this event? Actually, Chuck D is a huge Lars Hedlund fan, yeah?
Trying to hold on. Lars Hedlund. And Hedlund is not giving away a thing, is he? 6'3", 302 pounds on the left. He's 29 years old. Wilhelm is 31 years old.
He's 31? He looks like he's 50 and acts like he's 5.
30 seconds to go. And they are still dead even.
This is so boring. It's like the tug-of-war equivalent of 4 corners in college basketball.
Whichever of these athletes plays the clock with that final burst in the last 10
boring.
seconds.
Boring. 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 Let's go Devils. Let's go Devils.
2 seconds. And Wilhelm wins with that final yank.
Oh, come on. He weasels his way into every victory. It's ridiculous.
A tired competitor.
Flavor Flav and his S1Ws helping Lars with his rope off.
In that competition. Swedish athlete gave you some competition that time.
Yeah. I'm beat. I don't like this event. I'm tired. I'm gassy.
You're gassy? What? That's gross.
Go get it, because you got to come back one more time. Okay. All right. For winding up third overall, Lars Hedlund of Sweden picks up $5,000 in bonus money. John Kolb is fourth, $2,000 to him.
So over 10 weeks, the 4th place guy made $2,000. Hey, keep that up and you're talking 10, 11 grand a year, which ironically was the cost of a hernia operation in 1978.
One tug of war. Don, how do you feel?
Well, I'm confident. Just hope to do the very best I can, Brett.
Bruce, how about you?
Well, I have to be a little more humble this year than last. It's going to be tough.
Wait, this is the humble version of Bruce Wilhelm?
Don just pulled his man across.
I was called the fat boy, so I'm the one that should be out of shape, not you, Bruce. So we'll see who's the fat one, okay?
Oh, Reinhardt, don't try and trash talk.
Because you still are the fat boy.
Now that's how it's done, Don.
All down to one tug of war.
Reinhardt just got smoked, and I'll tell you why. He broke the cardinal rule of trash talking. He put himself down in his own trash talk. Folks, don't let this happen to you. Now, one of our new sponsors has just what you need to be able to trash talk like Warren Sapp in no time. Check it out.
How many times have you seen this?
I was called the fat boy, so I'm the one that should be out of shape, not you, Bruce. So we'll see who's the fat one, okay?
Wrong. What these guys need is some serious trash talking. Some athletes know how to walk the walk. Others can even balk the balk. But if you really want to be remembered as a true competitor, you gots to learn how to talk the talk. Well, now you can, thanks to this 30-minute instructional video, Trash Talk Like the Pros. You'll learn professional techniques like the put-down, the disgracer, the in-your-facer, the old-school diss, and many more. For just $19.95, you'll be trash talking in no time.
Whoa! You're like a 4 Arizona, man. You're burnt. Get out of here, man.
And you don't even have to be on the playing field to trash talk. These videos work in any situation.
Queens! Triple word score in your face!
Yeah, well, your mama's so fat when she wears a yellow coat, people yell taxi!
Mom? You just dissed yourself.
Don't panic, Mom. Remember what you learned from the tape. When backed into a corner, insult his hygiene.
You know, I was doing the laundry today, and I came across a certain someone's pair of underpants. Now, I don't want to say they were dirty, but I haven't seen skid marks that big since the X Games. Yo! No! Tony Hawk style! Thanks, trash talking like the pros.
And if you act now, we'll also throw in trash talking at the office.
File that. Thanks, trash talking at the office.
That's Trash Talk Like the Pros and Trash Talking at the Office, all for the low, low price of $19.95. And if you can't afford that, then you're probably so poor you go to KFC and lick other people's fingers.
After the break, Reinhardt versus Wilhelm, the match we've been waiting for. Stay with us. I haven't seen a tease that bad since I picked up your cousin last night. Okay, that makes no sense. She's your cousin, too. All right, I gotta look at these tapes again. Welcome back to Cheap Seats. We've been watching the 1978 World's Strongest Man competition, and it's come down to two men, Don Reinhardt and Bruce Wilhelm. Don's the last hope for the forces of good, like the English in 1941.
60-second time limit.
Okay, this is it. Good versus evil. Skywalker versus Vader. Brown versus the Board of Education. Fat guy versus fatter guy.
Down to establish a base. Wilhelm appears to be in trouble early. He is. He'll have to struggle back. Reinhardt's got a chance to win it right here. One more yank and he can get Wilhelm across, but Bruce is now pulling back. Now he's in trouble again. Reinhardt may not be able to stop it. Reinhardt's going to lose it. He's down and out.
Oh, that has gotta sting for nice guys everywhere. And it's even more embarrassing the way he lost. He fell on his face. Just like the English in 1941.
I got a lot to say now. There's no doubt about it. We've proven that a weight-trained athlete can beat a fat man, beat a football player, professional wrestler. The best athlete is here. There's no doubt about it.
That's it.
Well, at least he's a gracious winner.
Wilhelm, our champion. And with it, a check for $10,000 in bonus money, $7,000 to Don Reinhardt.
So for the second straight year, we present this World's Strongest Men trophy.
Brent can't even lift it.
Champion Bruce Wilhelm, and for all our competitors, you guys did a marvelous job. But let's hear it from you for Bruce Wilhelm for the effort he put out.
Only Matusak is clapping. Everyone else hates him.
I want to really say something.
Kolb's like, please get monkeypox.
Something more mellow. Here, I'll hold it.
All right, go right ahead.
I guess it really kind of started last year when we started getting down on everybody's case, but I kind of want to mend the bridges here.
Boy, it's lucky for Bruce that mending bridges isn't an event in the competition.
I was really very fortunate once again to win, because Don is a superior athlete, a fabulous athlete, just as all these gentlemen are. I want to take my hat off to him.
Notice he isn't wearing a hat. Bruce Wilhelm has truly proven that he is the world's biggest. Of course Wilhelm wins. Of course. I've never wanted anyone to lose more than Wilhelm. It stings every single time, and it never gets easier to see. All right, let's try and muster it up to give out some cheapies. Wilhelm wins the cheapie for least valuable player just because someone's got to knock that guy down a peg. For my least valuable play, I say it's this. Guys, go ahead and roll it. They are rolling it. Yeah, that's why it was so unvaluable. That was pretty unvaluable. But I'm going to have to go with this. So there is a happy ending to all this. Don Reinhardt returned to the World's Strongest Man competition the next year and won convincingly. And he now works as an executive director of the Chautauqua County Youth Bureau, encouraging kids to stay off drugs and believe in themselves. What a nice guy. And as for Bruce Wilhelm, we heard a rumor that he's supervising North Korea's uranium enriching operations. For Randy, I'm Jason. Thanks for watching us here on Cheap Seats. And always remember, lift with the legs, fat and cocky equals annoying, and never put yourself down when you're putting down someone else. We'll see you next time on Cheap Seats.